Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a while since I've seen you. It's been a while that I've gone on one of these lives. Reason being is because I've been busy in the background doing some really cool stuff that I want to talk to you today about. And that is about marketing. And I think I titled this thing, How to Market Without the Hoopla and all that kind of stuff, right? So here's what's been going on. In the last couple of weeks, done a lot of brainstorming, a lot of stuff that to help people position, to help people market, right, including myself. And what I found is that there is a completely different and new way of marketing. And I'm not talking, this is not a new, big strategy thing that, hey, go buy my program type of thing. Although I do have a class that I'm going to be offering, so that's coming. But here's what it is. The way the marketing is done these days is there's a lot of noise, a lot of hoopla, a lot of stuff. I love saying hoopla. How many times can I say hoopla in this thing? So there's just a lot of noise that goes on in the marketplace. And what happens is people just try to shout louder. They try to do new gimmicks and all this other kind of stuff, right? And what I discovered is that we don't have to do it that way. We don't have to shout any better. And I think there was a saying, and I forget who said it now, that there was some saying that it's different is better than better. Okay, different is better than better. And forgive me, I can't remember who said that. I wrote it down in a book somewhere, and I wish I would have thought of this before I went live to get the book and actually give credit to whoever said it. But if you remember who said that, put it in the comments below. All right, now I want you to think about what that really means. And it stood out to me because that's what this is all about. It's like different. Okay, how do you market differently to stand out to your clients, to stand out to who you really want to attract? Hey, Rob, what's going on, brother? Rob was, back in the day with myself in Spinning Sound, was one of the best different marketers out there, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this. So all we're doing is we're taking the concept of the funnel, right? People talk about funnels and they talk about numbers and getting people in the top of the funnel and this and that, and you filter down to the right customers, and only the best customers come out the bottom, right? Well, I don't want to do things that way. I don't want to be playing the numbers game. And what I want to try to do is I want to attract ideal customers, and my customers, the ideal customers, want to attract their ideal customers as well. And instead of having all kinds of funnels and all kinds of things going on, if we focus on the one thing, if we focus one thing all the way through, the one message of the one person, to attract that person, it's going to be a lot easier. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that we don't understand the customer as much as we think we understand them, because they have a worldview, right? Everybody has a worldview. We all look at the world differently. And whenever I'm speaking to clients, their issue is their challenge is really, they're saying, like, these guys don't understand me. They go to my opt-in page. They don't understand what I'm trying to sell. And I say to them, well, listen, you got it backwards. It's that you don't understand your client. And then we get into the whole stuff about the avatar and the avatar exercises, and you've probably been through all these things. And I ask people, like, who is your client? Who is it that you are trying to bring in? And they get into a lot of demographics, right? Well, it's guys between 35 and 55, and they love football or whatever it is, right? They've got these demographics, and that's completely fine. Demographics are part of the process, but it's not what is going to sell you or your product, your service. Okay. The demographics is an important piece, but it's not where your marketing begins when you actually start to put it out there. What begins is what your marketing is going to change is when you understand the customer story, is when you understand what they're going through in order for your product to change their life. And I'll give you an example here that you'll get like this immediately, okay? I'm going to talk about Dyson. Look at Dyson. Now, Dyson, if you look at that product, it's a vacuum cleaner, but what does it do? What does it do differently? It doesn't lose suction, and it doesn't have bags to clean, right? Now, any company, any vacuum company could have done the exact same thing that Dyson did. But what Dyson did differently is this. They looked at the people. They looked at the marketing first. Or not, sorry, the marketing first. They looked at the people. They didn't come look at the drawing board and say, how can we make a better vacuum? All right? They looked at the people first. And they said, what is the problem that someone who is vacuuming every day go through. What is it that they're problem with? What do they struggle with? What do they hate to do? And what are they complaining about? So Dyson looked at the problem in the marketplace. You understand? And they created a solution for it. They knew they wanted to build a vacuum, but they didn't start at the vacuum. They started at the problem. And this goes for you too. This goes for anything that you're doing. Because if you don't start with the problem, and you start to build a better mousetrap, then all you're going to do is commoditize yourself. All you're going to be doing is, yeah, you've created this better thing for a couple of months, and then some other dude comes along and creates a better one of your thing. And all it is commoditize you. But look at Dyson. I don't know how much a Dyson is now. It's like $15 million to buy a Dyson, right? But people buy it, right? So, and I'm one of them. I mean, I bought a Dyson because of the story that it represents. It makes my life easier. It makes my wife's life easier, right? So I'm prepared to spend $800, $1,000 on a machine that is going to give me a story that promises that I'll never have to change a bag again, or that it will never lose suction, right? I mean, that's the story that Dyson is telling us. And they didn't make up the story. They took the story from the marketplace, all right? And that is so important for you to understand when you're marketing. And what this means is that if you turn the model around, if you turn the model and say, instead of saying to yourself, listen, what product can I create that is going to make me money? Or what product can I create that people are going to want to buy? That's the wrong question to be asking. The right question to be asking is, what problems do people have in their life, and what's the product that will make their lives easier? Because as marketers, and I'm guilty of this as much as anybody is that we create products. We create this book, right? I create this book or whatever it is, this widget, and then I find out, and then I go out and I try and sell it. I go, okay, well, who's going to want this widget? How do I market this? Who's the best market for this? I mean, that's backwards thinking, okay? If you start with the problem, or if you start with the people first, and you say, what is the problem that they're having, and how do I make their lives easier? Your marketing has been written itself. Like it just writes itself. And if you look at, like I said, Dyson, look at Uber. Why do you think Uber is Uber? There's not some dude sitting there going, okay, well, I'm gonna create a way that I could make money selling rides to people. That's not how it started. It started with, what's the problem with the industry? What are people upset about? Well, people are upset about, well, I'm annoyed because I never know if my cab's going to come, when it is coming. I got to sit there and wait at the window, or I'm at the bar and I'm drunk and I can't remember. I got to go outside and see if this cab is there. You know, all this other kind of stuff. And then when they get in the cab, they're pissed off because they're sitting there and the fare is going up and they're in traffic. And like, they're annoyed at that. They're just pissed off at all about that stuff. That's why Uber was created. Uber was created to solve those problems, to make lives easier for people, and it is what it is today, right? So if you think about those two examples and how it relates to what it is that you're doing, how can you make your business better? How can you look at the market and say, what are the problems in the market that I could make better? And if you start with the people first, I trust me, everything will change for you, because it's no longer looking at a product and saying, what product can I build that I could put into the marketplace? And I could stay on here for hours telling you all kinds of different examples of this. I'm sure you can figure them out for yourself. But those are two of the main examples. Like, look at Dyson, look at Uber, on how they looked at the marketplace. A very simple marketplace that has changed forever, right? Especially Uber, right? How do you pay for rides and everywhere? I mean, I remember for my 53 or 54 years now I'm going to be on this planet. I think I'm turning 54 this year. I don't know. I can tell you on one hand how many times that I've taken a cab. On one hand, I can tell you that. But I can also tell you that in the last 2 years, I've used Uber 10 times that amount, like 50 times almost. I've never, ever used transportation like that in my life. Why? Because of the simplicity of it, how easy it was, and the whole feeling around it. I'm not, advocating Uber or anybody else. I'm just giving you an example of how things have changed just by someone like me who's a hermit who never goes out, and then when he does, goes to a live event or something. Now I'm going, well, how do we Uber? Where do we go? I'm no longer constrained to a hotel or anything like that. I can go wherever I want to within the city. You know what I mean? So it's a very cool way of life for almost everybody. So take those ideas and apply them to your business. See how it is for you. How is it going to affect your business? If you look at your people first and you say, all right, guys, like, what is the main problem that you're having? And dig deep. The more deep that you dig to those problems, you'll find solutions there that people want to buy, instead of you creating a product and you trying to get people to buy it. Hopefully this helps. If it does, share it with somebody. And if you want to know anything about my marketing class coming up, it's coming up February 23rd and 24th. It's going to be a live online class. We're going to do with, I'm only going to do this with 10 people and show you what I'm talking about in terms of difference marketing and the right questions to ask yourself, the right questions in the framework and the blueprint in order for you to use this to apply to your world. I don't have a webpage or anything up yet or anything like that, but if you're interested in this, just put it below, put in the word difference, and then I'll PM you about and give you a PDF on some more information on how this will work for you. Okay? Have yourself a great day.